Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, my seventh. No, I got that one wrong still, because it's 5, 6, and 7. Because that's not the shocker. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. It does not go 6, 2, and no, I'm not going to. Anyway. The shocker. So, well, anyway, what this is Futuristic Music Saved My Life. Now, I assume, well, I can't assume anything. If I assume anything, if you assume something, that makes an ASU out of M and E. Now, what that means, I have no idea. What makes an ASU? And then 2 letters of the alphabet? What are they trying to say? I've never understood that one. It's weird. It makes as much sense as trying to fly a camel like a kite. You know what they say. Sendenda ha gazelle. Send me more gazelles. Well, let us watch. Oh, that was a good aim. I'm glad I shot my eye for that. Let us watch, let us listen to, let us enjoy, and let us react to, or at least I will, you don't have to. Futuristic Music Saved My Life, right now. Oh, woo! Hokey smokes.
As a child, I would dream about it. Sometimes it wake me from my sleep and I would think about it. Making music was all that could keep me off these streets. I don't know where I'd actually be without it, but think about it. I dedicated like 20 years to the goal.
I understand
still
that.
ain't made a name for myself and it's getting old. How many more words can I enter into this phone without running out of topics and dropping interesting quotes? I know people around the globe is wishing that they had a chance to get their hands on that advance that I just passed up. Hit the road and have at least 200 people at every show smoking until I choke. That sounds mad fun.
They're nothing.
And being able to pay my bills is a plus. But money I be spending for promo is twice as much. Not to mention if you want to get into the club with all these other rappers, then you gotta have the nicest stuff. So fuck it.
Because the record companies make you pay for it all.
They know me around the city for acting out. My dad visited for the week and he got a taste and left the day
electricity,
with a text. What's
the
that
cost
about?
of everything.
I told him it's okay,
they charge
it's not
you
a problem.
for everything.
Around me seem to think that
You generally end up owing the record company after your album
they
is
looking for a
done.
way to get it popping, so I got them. I stopped chilling with my old friends. They all married with good careers. Envious of what I'm doing, but
all
only if they knew I would trade them for a second and be
I think
out of
that's
here.
probably
But
an
I'm too addicted
exaggeration.
to this music, and I got 8 siblings that I never see. In a room I never leave, stuck on my computer watching other niggas catch some speed. All they songs is extra weak, confusion steady stressing me. Running out of patience, let the journey get the best of me. Thought I had the recipe, so I followed every step. Left my girl and moved away. I know she happy I left. Lil' bro is all alone. Mama need a bigger check. All my niggas falling off. I'm still trying to be the best. Lock myself inside this booth. Started making hella tracks. Cry myself to sleep at night. Swear I've been to hell and back. Loaded up that gun I bought. Went through everything I had. Put it all in envelopes. Had it sitting in my hand. Wrote my mama a letter and apologized for suicide. I've been on the mission that they talk about, but few would try. Had my finger on the trigger. Would've left it all behind. The lyrics popped into my head. Maybe music saved my life.
Yes, it did. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe music saved my life. Saved my life.
Maybe. No, that sounds like a definitely.
Maybe music saved my life.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Holy smokes. YouTube saved mine.
Maybe music saved my
There ain't
life.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with having a lifeline.
Music saved my life. Saved my life.
Holy smokes. That calls for being medicated. Professor. I am glad that music saved your life. And as I had said, some people their breaking point is a lot closer to Well, it's a lot easier to achieve. I mean, he says for 2 years he struggled with depression and questioned if his life was worth living. And then the loss of his grandmother, combined with being broke, failing to break through as an artist, and relationship struggles, drove him insane and suicide. I mean, I've been depressed my whole life. I was officially diagnosed as depressed back when I was 22, and I'm 53, and in less than 3 months, I'm going to be 54. So that's, 54 minus 22, that's 30 some odd years I've been struggling with depression. And he lost his grandmother. I lost my wife 2 years ago. And I understand that it's hard to lose a grandmother, especially. I lost my grandmother when I was 7 years old. She raised me because, as my mother figure, because my mother had to work, because my birth father divorced her when I was less than a year. So she had to support me and her. She lived with her parents. And so her mother raised me. And unfortunately, my grandfather gave me the physical abuse, a large amount of physical abuse, because he did not know how to deal with children except through his belt. But then she died when I was like 7 or so years old. She fell down. She was always overweight. She fell down, broke her leg. And after it was set in a cast, they told her that it was very vital she needed to walk to circulate, or she's going to get blood clots. So guess what happened? She didn't walk and exercise. And one night, she and my grandfather were in bed. Blood clot broke free. I had to watch my wife slowly die over 10 years and then die quickly over 2 weeks when she went on hospice. He had to watch her die and keep doing CPR on her and bringing her back as the ambulance was on its way. So she died. I cannot imagine being him at that point. Holy smokes. But yeah, I mean, then after that, I mean, so I've dealt with the physical abuse. There was sexual abuse. A lot of it was from, I had a lot of sexual abuse from kids my age, teens that were probably twice our age because I wasn't the only one. And there was a lot of sexual abuse from them. And then there was more that came from my mother's second husband. He actually gave me my last name. I like my last name. But when he actually died, nobody else on this planet have I ever really disliked except him. In fact, he's the only person I've ever actively hated. And when he died, I was actually happy. But I remember being probably 8 or 9 years old, my sister being 4 years younger than me. My mother is down in the basement in the dark, sitting cross-legged. Oh, God. I'm sorry. That just hit me so hard because when I was that age, I and my sister went down to her because she was sitting in the dark. And I didn't realize that was going to hit me so hard. But she was sitting in the dark and crying. And so we were clinging to her and crying. She had followed her husband to another woman's house and then confronted them both in her bed. And so she was not very happy, and there was a divorce not long after that, and he did some sexual abuse, some physical abuse on me, and so when he actually died, I was very pleased. But then, of course, like I say, add that then with my wife actually spending 10 years dying in front of my eyes, and then about 3 weeks before she actually died, she said finally that she was going to go on hospice. She was tired of fighting, and I understood. So she went on hospice. She stopped fighting, and 2 weeks later, she was gone, but her body was still alive. Her kidneys failed, and the toxins killed her, but didn't kill her body for another 3 days, when finally her body stopped breathing and it died as well. Yeah, I can understand. I understand. And I've really gone on about this one. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to say I understand what he's talking about, but at the same time, when I say some people are built with weaker frames, I mean, even in the midst of all that I've gone through, I've never ever contemplated killing myself, because I fear death more than I fear grief. And so I reached out for something to save my life, and I grabbed YouTube. I'm glad he found something, but if you I'm definitely don't take this is not bragging, but this is a comparison. I've said this a couple times, where some people are born certain ways. His frame that he's in got hit with a wave that I wouldn't even have noticed, and it almost broke his frame. But it's not his fault. You live with the frame that you have. You know, it's your frame to fight against, you know, the emotions and all this, that is, that batters you. You got your frame, your armor. And his just, he was not born with strong armor. I mean, he's still alive, thank God it was strong enough, but that almost destroyed him, and I wouldn't have even have noticed it. So, what can I say? Man, though. Anything is bad. Depression is horrible. I understand. I'd never want to play any sort of one-up, because that's ridiculous. Everybody's pain is their pain, and nobody else can judge that or put a value on it, because they aren't experiencing it. Well, hey, any comments or suggestions we could drop in the video down below? That would be great. Yeah, comments, suggestions, please. Yeah, and you know, there's links if you want to check those out. And this video is long enough as it is, so if you can check those out, that'd be great. You take care. Have a great day. This is my last video. Thank goodness, huh? Or my next one would be a half hour. So you take care, and I'll see you on the flip side. Have a very good day.